2 on Saturday the 14th of December. I've just taken the fronts off these two holding bays at the front of the new plot. What we're going to do is move this material across to its like material in the right here, and then we've got a massive pile of new wood chip up the front. So we're going to fill that, but we're going to have more than fits in that. We're probably going to have to make a pile over here as well. Everything down here is looking okay. The sky is blue, which is what enticed us out of the house. It was a bit late. We were up late last night, binge watching some anime. But look at that. That's pretty impressive. So it's nice to have caught the end of it, really. And we'll crack on and do some actual work. Now let's go look at the big pile of new wood chip. We're about to start moving our big, sexy pile of new wood chip down to the plot. This is what we've got. Cat's taken the first barrow load. I don't know if you can see it from here, but there's steam billowing out the top of it over there. Is that visible? I'm not sure. Yes, this is going to take a while, but we're going to get it down there. And yeah, it's massive. If I pop up here, can you see that steam there? Maybe I should do the classic digging through the pile type shot. Yeah, it's warm down there. You can probably see some of that steam now. There we go. To get my compost thermometer out. I'm not quite sure how warm it is down there, but it's at least full. This chip pile is cooking. There we go. Time to get a lot of this moved, as well as get the things sorted out up at the plot. Okay, that bay is now nice and empty, ready for receiving a lot of wood chip. Though that's probably not today's job. We'll want to do a couple of things to get ready for that, for my planned experiment. And then we just shifted that material over on top of this plot over here, ready to go on paths and stuff, which is what we're gradually doing in this plot, is spreading out cardboard and covering it. We're not entirely sure yet where the beds are going to go. So at the moment we're just making sure it's all relatively smothered to keep the weeds suppressed, and Cat here has obviously already been bringing some of the new material up here. Cool, time to crack on with that. That'll do for today. Just a little trip, but we got a good bit done there, which is good. And then Sunday tomorrow we'll hopefully come down and get a whole bunch more done. Not a bad effort for a quick Saturday trip down the plot. We can probably see, kind of squared that off. All of this area here was the edge of that pile. As from the video up at the plot, we've moved a fair bit, though it's probably not even a fifth of this total pile, which we can see nicely steaming away there. Look at that, that's definitely much better in this light than the videos I tried to get earlier. Steaming. Right, home time. But we'll be back tomorrow to tackle more of this lot. It's about 2 PM on Sunday. Needless to say, another late start. I should probably stop bothering to mention that, really, because it's always a late start. That's just our kind of schedule, really. Key job today is to get as much of this as possible moved up to the plot, and meanwhile build an actual compost cube of some of it So yeah, better crack on with that. Prep the compost cube first up at the plot. This is the compost holding bay we emptied out yesterday. I moved all of the older coniferous woodchip material, consolidated into that one bay. That's all that's left of that lot now, the previous dumping. And what we're going to do here is try to make a compost specific bay of this new coniferous woodchip. I'm going to put this good old bit of drain pipe that we rescued off Free Cycle down the center as a sort of a aeration tube. I'm going to use Mr. Spinny here with totally the wrong sort of disc, though there isn't really a right sort of disc for this job, I think, to cut some slots in there for aeration. And we'll build the heap around that with the idea that that helps it get air into the center of it. A lot of people seem to do this, and with success, so we shall learn from everyone else's success and copy that idea. So yeah, let's get cutting up that bit of pipe and prepare to fill this bay. So what we're going to do is just cut slits all the way down this, all the way around. Yes, we're making some microplastics in this process, which is unfortunate, I think, but it's a hard one. You got to cut up plastic sometimes, and that's going to make some microplastics. That's why I'm doing it here on the road, so that so much less of it blows into the plot, but also. So that's our slotted down pipe in amongst a pile of microplastics. It is a worry, which is why I've moved down here next to the rubbish pile instead of next to the plots. For those of us who've grown up through, say, the 90s and last several decades, it's one of those things that you do. You cut plastic up with various sorts of saws, you drill it, and now, obviously, it's quite a worry about what the impact of this material might be on the environment. And here I am, making more microplastics. What do we think? Where do I stand on the scale of environmental crime right now? Having made my useful pipe that will get lots of use, hopefully, and do a good job. But meanwhile, put all of this stuff into the grass and an area here. Bearing in mind, it's alongside this pile of trash, which is probably going to go to landfill somewhere. And we're just round the corner from a countryside road. Is it a drop in the ocean? Or should I have found a different way of doing this? And what would be a better way of doing this job that doesn't generate plastic waste? I could try poking holes through it with a soldering iron. Something like that, maybe? Something to think about for next time. So I actually designed these bays up against the sort of trackway down the middle of the allotments here so they can be loaded from this side. But one thing that needs to be done is we don't want to have to take that whole board off and potentially let material come out of this side here. So it's time to cut a line down the middle. It doesn't have to be the straightest line. It's not going to be. So that's loose now, and we can unscrew it. I've already started on that. Okay. Yeah. So now this bay can be accessed from the roadside as originally intended. Let's secure that one back again. There we go. There's our pallet compost bay ready to receive some material. And we have that pipe in the middle. It's loosely tied into there with a bit of fencing wire that I just scavenged from the waste tip up the front of the plots. This side is down, ready to start wheelbarrowing material into it. I was thinking about putting some plastic linings on the sides here. I have some sort of Correx sheet left over from work that would have gone on there, but I'm going to not bother because that's extra work. Simple as that. The concern obviously is that this, especially in the center here, could rot out, but it's pallets, it's disposable. Even though these particular pallets are actually quite hard to come by. They're from maltsters who ship malt sacks to breweries. They're nice, strong 1.2 by 1.2 size pallets. But that's okay. If these pallets rot out, we'll find other pallets. Anyway, time to get some coniferous wood chip into this pile. Well, we have worked into the darkness of twilight, but we've got the key objective done. This bay is full. It's a nice, pretty much 1.2 meter cube of this material now. So what we'll do is, as that settles down a bit, we'll have plenty on hand to keep it topped up and keep that pretty much full. Whilst I was mucking about earlier, Kat brought a lot more of this material up here with the wheelbarrow. So we've got a pretty big pile of wood chip growing on the front of the second plot here. But that's okay. We've got more to add to it. So we're not quite finished bringing up that big pile, that's for sure. We'll go have a look at that before we head off. Trying to start off at the same angle as some earlier photos here to indicate how much we've got through this pile. I think we've not done too badly for a short time. I think we're probably halfway through it, considering the size of the pile up at the other plot and the cubic meter or more we've put in that bay. So that's looking pretty good. Yeah. The sky is looking pretty nice tonight. Burning away on the horizon there.